comprehensive breakdown on some of the supposed complex issues that bedevils Nigeria's socio-economic and political landscape. On the evening rush, we try to analyze and intellectually look at issues from an objective prism. Sometimes we have conspiracy theories, which is actually normal in a very complex polity and peculiar country like Nigeria. But then we try to understand the logicality of these conspiracy theories and sieve out what is the truth, the fact, and exactly what the rumor is. Sometimes they say that there is no smoke without fire. We also try to look at what could have caused the smoke and how could this smoke, if not properly licked into, to lead to a whole fire. On the evening rush as well, we get your contributions and your recommendations, including your criticism and your outcry. You can never tell. They always listen to the conversation. We do this program audio-visual, so I would implore you to join us right now on YouTube if you virtually want to be part of the conversation, to follow up with the topic of discourse that we'll be having this evening. So go onto your Android or your iOS device, type VOP 903 on your YouTube application in the phone of yours, and then voila, you'll see us live there, basically. So ladies and gentlemen, tell a friend. It's 90.3 FM. Share it, inform a friend. Let's have a healthy conversation about Nigeria. I'm going to start off with what Kayode Fayemi said in 2012. Now, it's important for us to start with this so you understand the trajectory of the conversation this evening. According to Kayode Fayemi, this is what he said. Nigerians mistrust and distrust their leaders, whether they are politicians, captains of industry, faith-based clerics, media watchdogs, or civil society activists. As an active participant who has been asked to reflect on current challenges in the polity, he says his task is not to bemoan the fate of the troubled institutions in the polity. However, as a progressive participant observer, in his view, he would want to call attention to what must be done to increase the population of those who have access to power, with a fundamental view to serve the people. You must reflect, according to him, for example, on what is the place of values in politics. For him, if there is no value in politics, then politics is definitely not for the ideological interest of the people, as a couple of the politicians claim. All right. How can transactional politics be replaced by transformational leadership? Remember, this was way back in 2012. How should institutions of state be strengthened to ensure effective checks and balances? What should be done to promote internal democracy in political parties? How should leaders and the led, that is the leaders and the people that are being led, how do they work together? What systems and processes should be put in place for genuine empowerment of citizens towards the attainment of full rights? In short, how can excellence become the habit in a beleaguered nation? And these are very pertinent questions that are still being asked up till now. In 2015, Nigerians were done with corruption. They were done with insecurity. They were done with lackadaisical attitude. They were done with the fact that they couldn't feel the presence of government at the grassroots. They were literally just done. At that point in time, they actually lynched and supported somebody that was proposed by the AC and then now the APC. And that is the person of Muhammadu Buhari, whom through his antecedents Nigerians felt he will fight corruption, he would be disciplined, he would not be nepotistic, he wouldn't be tribalistic, he wouldn't care about anybody but to ensure that the polity is sanitized, as corruption had eroded deeply into the foundation that birthed Nigeria. That was basically the fundamental support that Muhammadu Buhari got in 2015. And that was why that overwhelming appreciation was brought in by Nigerians. Muhammadu Buhari promised to resuscitate the economy, provide security, and fight corruption. That was a tripod of his administration. And at that point in time, Nigerians were just tired. They were done with the People's Democratic Party, and they just wanted a situation where the largesse of the country is not pocketed by the few. And they also felt that Jonathan literally was not given the kind of strength and spine that was needed to actually work in the polity. Well, we began to know some certain certain things played, behind the entire scenario that unfolded. Now Nigerians are aware of a lot of things, but it was that prism, it was that hope that Nigerians wanted. But what happened in the 8 years? This is not to castigate the late Muhammadu Buhari. There is somewhere I'm coming. Where I'm coming from is the fact that Nigerians have been tired of bad leadership for a long time. They've been so tired. They were just managing and coping, hoping that anybody who comes on board will just do the needful, and the person comes and disappoints. Can you imagine that Nigerians are calling for Jonathan to come back? Can you imagine that Nigerians are saying Buhari's government is better than this government? How can you prefer Buhari's government to this government? That means it has gotten worse. How do we know that the next leadership will not be worse than this administration as we are complaining about it? And Nigerians have gotten to the cusp of deciding that anybody, so long as it is not Tinubu, they don't necessarily care about the competence of the person. They don't even want to know whether the person is from the south, the southeast, or from the north. They don't even want to care about the antecedent. Anybody, anyone. Some Nigerians don't just want Tinubu there because he hasn't delivered, or because the APC has not delivered since 2015. And this particular topic and feature was since 2012 from Kayode Fahimi, how Nigerians mistrust and distrust their leaders. Nepotism from the previous administration has eroded into this administration. Bigotry is the order of the day. There is intolerance amongst Nigerians. For a peculiar, complex nation that is meant to work together, our youth are distracted. There are vices they're getting into, and they seem divided. And those who can speak and want the unity of Nigeria, their voices seem to be drowned by those who are calling for separation. Some Nigerians are asking for regionalization. Everybody go to your region. Nigeria cannot be together. We're not working as one, because a couple of people think that at this point in time, their ethnic group is in charge. Or in the previous administration, that is what it was. When politics and governance is looked at from the prism of my brother, my region, my religion, my political party, it will always be a fundamental problem. Why is this conversation coming on board? Atiku Abubakar, the PDP chieftain and presidential hopeful in 2023 under the umbrella of the People's Democratic Party, has officially left the PDP. He has now put his 2 feet in the ADC. Lately, in the political climate, which has been kind of hot and rife, there have been talks about preference. Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, who do you think is better? Anybody? We need this coalition to unseat Tinubu. Some people feel that Atiku is not it. They feel he should be an elder statesman. They think he doesn't deserve, or he doesn't worth campaigning again. They also feel that the ADC is a special purpose vehicle to achieve that long-time dream. Others feel that no, Peter Obi has a good prominence, has a clean record, supposedly has a personality and the youthful grace to drive this nation forward. But to change the system, something fundamental needs to be done. Is it going to start in this era? So there's the undecided faction of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and late Muhammadu Buhari agreeing, for the sake of balance, that after 8 years, power should return to the south. And after another 8 years, power comes back to the north. That way is to maintain balance. So a particular region is not always in charge. That was basically the reason why that agreement came on board. But the ADC as a political party right now is saying they want to set a new and a different trajectory. It's not going to be about the south or the north. If you know you have the capacity, put your hat in the race. There'll be a transparent primary. The Obidients aren't afraid of that open primary. They feel that Atiku has more support, and it's the northerners that are actually in that particular table there, more prominently there, and that there's a possibility that they will always choose their own. They wouldn't look at capacity, capability, antecedents, or profiling. They will just look at the fact that Atiku is their own. To make it worse, now that Muhammadu Buhari has passed on, they say that Atiku Abubakar is supposedly the voice of the north, the senior leader in the political echelon from the north, and that at this point in time, a lot of the northerners who are undecided may want to go with Atiku Abubakar. So a couple of them are convincing that Peter Obi run as a vice. Others feel that now that Atiku Abubakar has that prominence, he should step aside, put his interests aside, and work along with Peter Obi, support him at the back end, make sure that he utilizes all and sundry, push Peter Obi ahead. Others feel that if Peter Obi knows he's capable and he's a strong politician, why doesn't he go through the normal route that is done, which is to do what? Start forming alliances, working along with people. Deji Adeyanju actually said that. But still, the supporters believe that the system will be flawed. Not because of anything else, but just because the system has been flawed in that way. Now, the reason why the coalition came on board is to be a threat to the current political party in charge, that's the APC. They call President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a political strategist, one who cannot be beaten when it comes to Nigerian politics. In other words, the influence, the money, the power, the connection. Now that he's an incumbent, he has everything. So how do the political parties think they can supersede him? So it is better you join the APC and go with the moving train and have what it takes to retain your position in the polity than fighting against it when you know you have a huge chance of losing, being the fact that maybe your hands are not clean. They can bring in the institutions to investigate you. Well, today on the Evening Rush, we want to look at exactly what Nigerians want and what do they prefer. Would you want anything to be in charge and go back to the doldrums? Or something that will be worse than what you're currently experiencing? Do you want to change the narrative completely from what it used to be? The pattern and the system exactly. How do you intend to go about it and how do you intend to clamor for it? How do you also intend to defeat a system that seems to be captured, as a couple of people say and think? And Nigerians' doldrum. It takes time, but do you think the set of persons that we have now vying to unseat Tinubu in 2027 have the capacity and the tenacity to do that? Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce my guest in the studio. I have Mr. Segun Shokwiton. He's a latecomer. Welcome.
What an introduction. If only you know what I went through to be here.
I know. I saw that.
I actually had to send out a tweet on my way to tell people to avoid Airport Road in Ward, between International Airport and all the way into Ikeja. It's a complete gridlock.
What happened?
No clue. It's coming from Ikeja all the way, and it's gridlocked to the front of your location.
I know.
It's crazy.
So that means you must have left very early in order for you to be here.
I always do,
Thank you very much for coming. Apologies for saying you're a late comer.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Finally. Yeah. So a lot of you that have been asking for Mr. Shekon, he's here. And I actually have another wholesome, intelligent, vivacious, vibrant person right here in the studio. And that is Mr. Lawal Ekundaya. Mr. Lawal Ekundaya, how are you? Good evening.
We give glory to God.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Shekun Shokwiton. So let's start up with Nigeria's polity. I talked about the fact that from Kaide Fahimi way back in 2012, while Nigeria's leadership is always in contrast with its people, there is this vacuum, there's this huge gap between the people in government and the people. It's only when it's election time that they remember that there are people at the grassroots whom they know without them they cannot get whatever it is they want to get. But when they get there, they forget the people who brought them into power. But now that a lot of situations is unfolding within our political space and the calls for we no longer want this government to continue because the interests of the people as they promised us is not the priority, Nigerians are looking for anything, but they want a different system of governance. So at this point in time, in the quest to get anything, they just want anyone else aside from the current political party. Do you think that desperation is going to lead us to something worse than what we're experiencing now?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it can be worse.
Okay.
I don't know if it can be worse because it's pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is we said exactly the same thing under Buhari. Can you believe it? That we look back now wistfully at some parts of Buhari's time in government, as president, but I remember vividly at that time, even those of us that voted for him in his first term and who said, no, this guy has failed, he doesn't deserve a second term and didn't vote for him and all of that. And then the second term happened and it was even worse than the first term. We're looking back now and we're saying, with the benefit of hindsight and given what we're going through now, maybe that time wasn't so bad. And that has always been the story of Nigeria, So can it be worse than what we're experiencing now? I don't know. I think it probably can. Things can always get worse. But because of the governance style of the incumbent right now, they're really bad. Things are worse than they ought to be and that they need to be.
Okay.
They don't need to be this bad. So having said that, if we now out of desperation because we think that the price of bag of rice is 82,000 naira, gari is anything between 30 to 40,000 naira, and so on and so forth, we now say, oh, this is terrible, we want somebody new. Anybody else? Then I'll quickly remind people that think that way to cast their minds back to 2014, 2015, when a large, overwhelming number of Nigerians said no, anything but Jonathan. And then 8 years later, we're saying Buhari was the worst president. In fact, people want Jonathan back now. Are we not going to learn? Shouldn't we? How can we keep doing the same thing? It's amusing as I listen to all of these conversations. Yeah. I find it's like a tragic comedy, because on the one hand, it's funny, but on the other hand, these are real lives. When we started this journey, when Yaradua died, and people fought to get Jonathan installed. Esther, do you know that was 15 years ago? A child that was born in 2010 is about to leave secondary school, right? So our lives are slipping right by before our eyes, and we're repeating the same mistakes. When are we going to learn? When are we going to understand that doing the same things and expecting different results is absolute lunacy? We're crazy. With all due respect to all of us, right? We cannot continue like this. We have to understand that the solution to a problem cannot lie in the people that cause the problem. Okay. It's almost impossible. So if we say to ourselves, anybody else, okay, good luck to us. I mean, on election day, everybody's going to cast their vote. I'll cast mine. I may decide not to, whatever happens. But at the end of the day, whatever happens will happen. And we're all we'll be here.
Mr. Sheldon, the reason why I ask this question is now the ADC is the searchlight, the beam, is on them. Initially, Nigerians felt hopeless because the APC seemed to be the party that was ongoing, unchallenged. We saw people leaving the PDP in droves, joining the APC. The Labour Party has been destructured. Most of the House of Rep members that were unknown, that the Labour Party gave platform because Nigerians wanted that change, they all joined the APC. And the party supporters were confident, and the president came on Democracy Day, June 12, by saying, I am not apologetic to see you guys in disarray, but I'm not happy that you guys think it's a one-party system. I'm not going to help you resolve the imbroglio for you to stand as an opposition. I did during my time when the PDP was in power. I remained forthright. I remained as a strong voice, so I cannot be the one to come resolve the issues in your house. So I am sorry. I am not sorry that I'm witnessing you being in disarray. Then the ADC came up. It's not a new political party, but certain persons who joined that political party became the focal point, and that party started trending almost 2 weeks now, non-stop. Anywhere, it's like there is a monitor on any of the individuals wherever it is they go. So here is the thing. What a lot of Nigerians did not see was the passing on of Muhammadu Buhari. It seemed to be the factor that held the CPC faction of the APC together. We have seen some APC members join the ADC. For example, right now, since Atiku has left, he's now full on into the ADC. Some northern states have joined. In fact, in Anambra State, I think, yes, a frontline senatorial aspirant for Anambra South District, Sir Barrister Donald Chidi Amambo, has formally announced his resignation from the Labour Party, citing deep-seated internal crisis and a lack of credible leadership within the party's ranks, and he has actually joined the ADC along with his supporters. We're seeing the ADC trying to establish grassroots basis and recognition, all right, in the different wards and polling unit. But the Obidients are saying Peter Obi or nothing. And the Atikus are saying, why are you guys saying that? The Obidients are saying Atiku should be an elder statesman to support Peter Obi. The articulated are saying no. Atiku has every right to run like any individual. Yes, he has tried on several occasions. It just happened to be bad timing. What stops him from going this time around? The Obidients say it's the time of the South. And the articulated are saying, in which constitution is that? Where is it written that it has to be like that? That the ADC is creating a different pattern and a different platform. And everyone who is interested, they will implode you, if you're interested, join the party, register yourself that you want the aspiration to become a president, a governor, a House of Assembly member, a senator, or whatever it is you want. Register into the party and do what you need to do to lobby people to your side. But there is a fear that Peter Obi would not win if things are done the way it's supposed to be done because of the number of persons there. And they said, how is the process of the primary conducted? I need you to educate us in that.
Okay. Depending on whatever constitution they adopt in the ADC, right, they can either go for the direct primaries or the indirect primaries. One would have delegates, one would have just members voting by themselves, directly. If they are going to go with the delegate-based primaries, then you don't need to be a soothsayer to know what will happen. The same people that are in the ADC, 90% of them, maybe 95, were either in the PDP or in the APC during the last primaries that were run in 2022. And we all saw what happened. We called it the dollar rain that time. Amounts ranging from $5,000 to $10,000 to $50,000 was reputed to have been shared, by the major candidates to the different delegates. And we saw video evidence. So I would imagine that if the ADC decides to go through a primary process, it's very likely that they will run the delegate-based primary and we will see a dollar rain again because it's the same people, right? Why would they do things differently? If that happens, there is no pathway for Peter Obi to emerge as the candidate because I know Peter Obi will not share dollars.
But
you say we know they give shishi.
But if right now the way the politics is the way the politics is, for him to have joined that coalition, he already knew what all this entails. There is no how you can tell me that man doesn't have a mind of his own. That's the reason why I'm wondering, because if they say this coalition talk has been on for 18 months, and he was through part of the process, so all the pros and the cons he had considered it. Are you sure he didn't know about this angle of the politicking for him to have agreed to be part of it?
He knew, but Peter Obi's ideology, and his approach to life, to everything, his philosophy as a human being is that there is a right way to do things and he's going to do it that way no matter what. And he believes that as long as his motive is pure, that he will find his way through. And it has worked for him during his time as governor.
But that time is
not going to work now. But this is what he believes. I'm telling you, anybody can quote me. I'm speaking authoritatively. So he believes that he can go anywhere with the ground swell of support of Nigerians behind him. The delegates will have no choice if they intend to win the elections than to support him. That will be his own approach. And it will fail. It will fail because the delegates don't send you and I. They don't care about what Nigerians want. They care about what the amount of dollars that they will get during that process. People are going to build houses. People are going to buy cars. People are going to marry wives. As a result, it's true. As a result of this delegate, this primary system that is coming up, so throw the idea of Nigerians are behind one person and this person is the only one that can win. You throw it into the lagoon. The delegates don't care. So, that's what forms my own approach to this matter with regards to what I think the individual candidates should do if they intend to be on the ballot in 2027. Peter Obi, if he wants to be on the ballot in 2027, he won't get on the ballot in 2027 via the ADC. Atiku is going to be the man. So
You see the ADC as an Atiku party.
no, it's not that. It's because the kind of politics that Atiku will play is the kind of politics that ADC will play.
Are you
They will
sure
align.
that how you may have? I mean, a lot has been learned from 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, for Peter Obi to have joined this coalition, he knew what the challenges would be.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you're not underestimating his ability to persuade?
Peter Obi.
Yes. To
Persuade
persuade.
who? Delegates.
The delegates.
It's only dollars
Not
that
with
persuade
money.
them. It's only
Not
dollars.
with money, maybe with positions.
You see, I'm not just saying money. I said dollars. It's not a matter of persuasion with money. Because, we have a money laundering act
Yeah.
that limits the amount of cash that you can spend as an individual, as a company. That's why they moved to dollars. So what's going to happen? What persuasion are you talking about? What do you want to say to them? These things don't matter. These guys were delegates in 2023, and they know what happened to their lives. What do you want to say to them that they don't already know? You think they don't know that Peter Obi, really, if we're being honest with ourselves, is better than any candidate that you can want to present. They understand this thing. They saw his track record. They saw his ideology. They saw what he stands for in Anambra State. It happened in broad daylight.
Right.
All Nigerians saw it, right? They know, but they're not interested in that. And, until the people that are driving the Peter Obi campaign and, pushing him and including his supporters understand that, in my opinion, this is my opinion and my calculation, but you see, I'm coming from a place of some sort of inside knowledge. And I'm saying that there is no pathway. There is no pathway to the presidency for Mr. Peter Obi via the ADC. There's no pathway.
So if he had thought about this, why was he part of it then?
The only thing that I think might happen, Peter Obi, another thing about him, he says he's not desperate.
Yes.
He's not desperate to be president.
He says so.
He's desperate to change Nigeria. So as a result of that mindset, he might very well accept to be vice
Or
to
not
Atiku.
vice, just support him.
He might very well accept to be vice.
But he has
Based
said no
on,
twice.
yes,
on two
yes,
occasions.
he's a politician. So leave that one. He's still a politician, isn't he? So you can say whatever you want to say. If your constituency says something else, you will have to follow them. So the other thing that I think he might do is to accept to be vice to Atiku under an agreement of one single term for Atiku. And then him becoming the president after that and doing 2 terms.
But he said in 2031 he'll be done with politics.
Nobody is God.
But these are the things that bring out against
Excuse
him
me.
when he talks like this.
Did we
They
know
use it
that?
to counter some things.
I
he
understand,
says.
but it's politics. Did we know that President Muhammadu Buhari will be dead today? Nobody is God. So, when politicians, whatever anybody, not even just politicians, people say things out of conviction, but convictions can change. There are some things that you should never change, with regards to what you believe in, what you stand for. But talking about the things you will do and you will not do 5 years from today, 8 years from today, are you serious? So that's why I try now with the benefit of hindsight, not to say never about anything. And I don't think Peter Obi should have been saying, I will never do this, I will never do that.
After 2031.
It doesn't
Maybe
matter.
he wanted to prove and, buttress that indeed he's not desperate to be in
Maybe.
it. Okay, but let's look at the situation. The reason why he's always a topic of conversation wherever it is that you go is the fact that they feel that he's different from the lot. He has empathy. He understands the feeling of the people. He exudes humility.
Very simple.
Very simple. Something that is difficult to see in Nigeria. Unless maybe if these individuals are in their private homes or you get to really know them personally. But whether it's personal or outside, he is just like that. So, for example, he spoke about what Muhammadu Buhari told him when he was campaigning. He said the former military leader advised him to care for people experiencing poverty. He says, I had the opportunity of meeting him while I was campaigning, and I remember his words till today. Please care for the poor Nigerians. That's what I always remember, and I believe that he did his best within his capacity. That's what Peter Obi said. Obi said the encounter with the late president left a lasting impression on him, especially Buhari's sincerity in appealing for better welfare for vulnerable Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians will not agree with this statement because of what they experienced under Buhari's tenure. Now, here is the thing. They said somebody who was there in Katsina when Buhari, Atiku, El Rufai, Peter Obi, and a couple of, they were all there together today. He explained the reason why he did not go on Tuesday. He said there were no flights to Katsina. He also mentioned the fact that because there were no flights, he couldn't get there. Plus a couple of issues that came up. And it's even understandable because the president was there. A couple of the top dignitaries were there, and then some people were calling him out that he couldn't even go. But we know that at some point he was going to go. For him, he would prefer to meet the family, possibly separate outside that entire whatever. Now, in this explanation, after the 2023 elections, we saw Peter Obi really doing his philanthropic activities, going around, traveling, donating and whatnot. And a couple of Nigerians said that for Atiku, he went back to Dubai, comes back again when it's close to the election, that he's always doing that. You just feel you can buy the support of people with money. But the grassroots that you're supposed, the physical efforts, the ability to be present, you don't do that. Also, they felt like after what transpired in 2023, the PDP went into its crisis. And as the senior person there who was a presidential candidate, he did nothing to resolve the issue. So these are the issues that they have about him in terms of trust. But as it stands now within the ADC and the kind of persons there, will they be able to deliver empathy to Nigerians, trust, transparency, and a situation where they understand that Nigerians will be the priority and not their personal pocket, with the persons there and the people who are thronging into that place?
I mean, their track record speaks for them now. For me, it's simple. It's too easy. There's a track record. So I can just reel out the names. Is it Tambuwal you want to talk about? Is it Aregbesola? Is it Amechi? Is it El Rufai? Who else? Is it David Mark? Which one of these guys have related with Nigerians? I didn't bother to talk about Atiku because he has never been a driver in governance. He became governor, but he didn't stay in office because he became vice president. And then since then, he's been running. He's never really held a position where you say this is public office, where he's directly in charge, right? So that's why I didn't talk about him. Atiku tries, he makes statements, being a politician, being a good politician, he makes statements that are empathetic when there are events that warrant that. But which one of the majority of these characters has displayed empathy in their public life? Amechi has been in the public eye since 1999. All 26 years of this republic, he's been there in office. At what point did he display empathy? This guy speaks with brash arrogance. Himself and Wike, he's just a simple, slightly more polished version of Wike, in terms of that gruffness and that aggressiveness and all that. Which one of them speaks with empathy? Which one of them shows that in their daily, ordinary life, that they are connecting with ordinary Nigerians and impacting their lives? There will be a few of them, but none of the leading lights of this alliance, right? Except for Peter Obi. So I think that the equation is clear. It's up to Nigerians to be brave and bold enough to demand what they want. I'm not very optimistic. I don't see it happening.
We need ADC as a party, and the fact that they don't flout him.
Yeah, so I think that Nigerians are going to go with their emotions as human beings tend to do when it comes to politics.
Coming to that.
Yeah.
They have advised that we shouldn't attach emotions to this because these individuals don't attach emotions. Like
They
you
don't.
said, it is about them. It is
Absolutely.
it is practical. It is logical. No
Yeah.
sentiments. It is what
At
it
all.
is. Tinubu will tell you it is what it is. When he says grab it, snatch it, run away with
That's
it,
what it is.
he wasn't being empathical,
No, he
right?
was.
He was like, that's what politics is all about.
Yeah.
Now, those delegates you talked about, the Obidients who are saying Peter Obi or nothing, how do you think they can also have a say if they haven't registered? Because a lot of them are, a lot of those, especially those who follow politics and understand politics, who have said that it is not about emotion and sentiment, say that the Obidients need to learn strategy. That it's not about saying Peter Obi or nothing. What are the groundwork that they're laying? How many of them have registered in the ADC? How many of them are the grassroots, are the wards, mobilizing for their own person to have a voice? Because once you're able to do that, if an Obidient is the one that is a chairman or the head of one of the wards, you're also part of the inner caucus that can make decisions to sway. So if the articulated and the article is doing his, what is Peter Obi's people doing beyond shouting Peter Obi or nothing?
You know, and the interesting thing about the ADC, this is very critical unlike the APC that emerged from ACN, CPC, APP, some factions of ABGA and all of that, those conversations and those negotiations happen between parties or factions of parties. The ADC is a creation not of parties, but of politicians. The Labour Party is not a part of this discussion at all.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. Who in the Labour Party is there?
The
Labour Party.
They're supporting
It's
Peter.
splintered. The Labour Party, as we speak today, is decimated. They don't exist. The PDP is not the official. They're not officially a member of this coalition. In fact, there is no faction. It's members of the PDP that are coming out of the PDP and joining. The APC also has members joining, but not the party, not a faction. Now, what this means is that these people are coming with their personal machinery, not the party structure, right? So if you talk about Obidients coming into the ADC to come, how do they want to influence anything? Because the ADC is a fresh party of influential power brokers. What machinery? When the Obidients get there, are they going to become delegates for the primaries? They can't. They will never smell it.
Are you serious?
They can't become delegates because the politicians that have thronged in from the different places are coming with their delegates. That's why they're there. That's the power they wield. So unless the ADC decides to do direct primaries, and it's extremely unlikely. Again, the ADC is an amalgamation of different forces. The people are going to have to join by themselves. How do you get your party register? Register of members to say you want to do direct primaries. How do you want to do it? So for me, anybody that is talking about moving into the ADC, put your action where your mouth is, they don't understand what's happening. In my opinion, if you say you are an Obidient right now, think strategy. The conversation now should be whether the ADC is the place to go or whether you want to align with the ADA, which will get its registration.
But may take time.
But it will happen.
So you prefer the ADA?
Or, no, I have no preference. I'm just raising these things.
No, in terms of in terms of the fundamental.
Yeah,
the
of course. I mean,
because
if you go with the ADA, it's a clean slate, right? Or another option, go with one of the smaller fringe parties that you are sure is not a proxy for the APC or the PDP. Because majority of the 17 other parties out of the 19 are arms and legs of the APC or the PDP. The people that set them up were set up by the people in the main parties. So you have to find one or two that are clean, that you can all move into. When I say all, the Obidients, the disgruntled APC, I'm talking of Nigerians, everybody. So we now come together on that clean place without all these men, these old men. You see those old men, including Atiku, those old men, they have finished us. They are the ones that got us here. How can they solve the problem? They don't even know how. You see, Esther, they don't know how. They don't understand the impact of their actions on the ordinary Nigerian, because they are not ordinary Nigerians. They are shelled and cocooned. They live in a bubble. But they are protected.
Mr.
So they don't understand. They can't do it.
But Mr. Sheikh Shopito, the problem now is Nigerians are put in a corner of anybody. We don't even want to care about their antecedents. We don't even care whether they are corrupt. Anything that can. So if the coalition and the power brokers, like you said, can be strong enough, because they also understand the grab it, snatch it, and run away with it. They understand the brutality and the thuggery, the street thuggery, especially at the ballots, at the polling units, and they feel that they have the resources to ensure that their votes are not going to be taken off by anybody from the ruling party. Now, if that is the case, again, they've been boxed to that corner that they want to accept that. So a couple of Nigerians are saying, okay, Peter, you know what? Let's take out this government. Please partner with this guy. When you get there, your ideology or your sense of having that cleanliness in the polity, you can influence it. Some people feel the VP slot is a very powerful slot. That you work together with the president, you can make a lot of difference and all whatnot. That's, again, if the plan is for him to have an agreement with Atiku to have a clean slate from the way things are usually done, if they want to set a different trajectory in the polity. At this point, do you still see him as being in the middle of the deep blue sea and hard rock? at this point as at now? Also, do you see him leaving or stepping away from this coalition? And if that is the case, can he do it alone with whatever small party you suggest that he should be part of? Because I think they are seeing it. Yesterday, Yunusa Tanko cried out and said, please, zone this to the south. If it is zoned to the south, it will be between Amici and Peter Obi. And if that is the case, the Atiku factor will not be a major competition. So anyone who actually arrives between both of them, everybody now joins support. But if Atiku is saying, I have every right to go, I was not part of those who decided to share the vote of North and South and all whatnot. If that's the case, do you think if he leaves his coalition and joins another one, that he can go at it alone?
I think that, I mean, you already know, we discussed this in the last time I was here, and I've said it clearly, and my position hasn't changed. The ADC, when you say Nigerians may decide that, you know what, let's just get these APC guys out of the way.
That's what they're saying. That's what some of them are saying.
So for me, with all due respect to all of us, we cannot keep doing the same things and expect different results. It's madness. So that is madness. There is no evidence to support that if those guys, if you align with them as an obedient or as, you know, whatever other inclination you are, and you align with these politicians, just to get the APC out. Okay. You are replacing the APC with the APC. Please, you have to understand this thing. If we don't get it, then something might be wrong somewhere. We replaced the PDP with the PDAPC, PDP-APC. That's so this APC that we have now, a good chunk of them were in the PDP of Jonathan. The PDP, that administration that a lot of Nigerians say we're tired of this incompetence, clueless Jonah, blah, blah, blah. The same characters that were in that administration are in this one. They were under Buhari. They're here now. They have moved from APC to PDP, back to APC, into PDP. You can't even count anymore. They are pendulums. They swing like yo-yos, right? Yo-yos. So, yes. So it's the same people. Let's understand it. It's the same people. And if it's the same people, how can they do anything differently? So for me, it's very simple. Don't for 1 second think that you can't go it alone. I keep saying this thing. Don't look. What happened in 2023 was unprecedented in the history of Nigeria. Sure. For the first time, we had an election where, even though there were only 2 major parties, the votes were split between 3. We had a 1 million vote margin between APC, PDP, and Labour Party. It has never happened before, maybe except with the exception of, I think, 1963, right? Excuse me. So, how did that happen? How did it happen? It didn't happen on the platform of any major party. It happened because a man called Peter Obi and the people behind him who believed in him formed a movement that moved things, right? So that man, and don't make no mistake, that movement is not an Igbo movement. The people that are trying to paint it that it is an Igbo movement. Some people even say IPOB. They say IPOBist. They say, they have all sorts of names.
Anybody in the South, you call them IPOB.
It's an error. It's a grievous error to characterize the Obidient movement as an ethnic movement. It's not. Peter Obi is an Igbo man, so obviously he has a lot of Igbo people supporting him. But there is a huge wave of other ethnic groups, including core Northerners, that are supporting this guy. Okay. So the same thing that they did in 2023, please, can somebody explain to me why it cannot be done again? Is it because the elections were rigged? Then what we should be doing as Nigerians is to be asking ourselves, how was it rigged? How did it happen? Why were they able to do it? And then block those loopholes.
Answer the question. How was it rigged? Why did it happen?
Boots
How
on
were
ground.
they able to do it?
Boots on ground.
That's one.
So the major, of course, the server thing and all of that. But, all of those things, the reason that they succeed is elections are about numbers and about people. So if you're able to put together a coalition and a strong movement of people that are in existence in all 181,000 polling units, then it will be very difficult for the election to be rigged. It will be very difficult. It's not impossible. They will still try. But there will be a counter effort and counter energy to prevent it.
Let me ask you something. Okay. In 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not yet the president. Yet he won. Through the fact that, according to some persons, he did not really win. INEC did their whole mutilation and all. Now that he's the president, now he decides who the INEC chairman will be. He's in charge of the executive. The National Assembly is literally one voice, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. How do you intend to fracture this kind of establishment? He is an incumbent that has this kind of influence. That's one. Two, in the local government elections, you know that some local governments, I didn't participate in other local governments, but let's just say that of Lagos. Some local governments, materials did not come. INEC officials were not there.
And elections were declared.
And results were declared. No INEC official, nobody came there to vote, and all the polling units were won by the APC, 20 and 37 LCDAs.
Yeah,
so how do you think this will not happen at the national level in 2027? That is if a Peter Obi decides to go and join a new political party aside from Atiku.
Go it alone.
Secondly, the NURTW boss at the national level is MC Oluomo in Abuja. They'll be controlling things from there. What I'm trying to tell you is that the pathway has been set up by his people, and they will deliver. And the local government election was a testament to what they intend to do and replicate in 2027.
They can't do that. So the local government election, what happened in Lagos over the weekend is not unique. It's not new.
No, it's not new.
This is how it has always been.
It has always been like this, okay.
It's a complete aberration. So let's just leave it. It happened. All the local government elections that have been conducted in this country, including the ones that were run by the Labour Party, have they done the one in Abia? There is no
Abia, yes.
Yes,
Where's Zenith Labour Party won?
And it was the same party.
Yes, the same party.
So there is no governor in Nigeria today that runs actual, real, transparent local government elections. It doesn't happen. Right. So let's leave that one out.
Okay.
Now, you talk about the incumbency of the president and how he will influence things. Right now, this is where the question of, are you really ready to put in the work? You know, it's not about Obi or nothing. What are you doing today to ensure that 2023 is not repeated? Randy Peter went to Abuja, sat on the ground in front of the National Assembly, went there with the constitutional amendment proposal regarding electoral reforms. What has happened to that? Where is the groundswell of support and backing for that? Where is the organization amongst Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians, to say, we want an independent INEC and we demand an independent INEC and we are going to get an independent INEC because we can do it. Nigerians don't understand their own power yet. If we go together without failing, without falling back, and we disrupt the activities of politicians, they are afraid of us. So that's why they always try to ensure we don't get it by dividing us. They will use religion and they will use ethnicity, bigotry, to divide us, because they know that the day that we agree and we go and sit, just imagine 10,000 people sitting down on the floor in front of the National Assembly, 3 arm zone. Is it that they are going to bring tanks to mow through those people and drive over them? You know, but people are going to fear ethnicity and will not do it. So the point I'm making is, it's up to Nigerians today to begin to do the work that will give us the independent INEC that we need. And then, you know, if you are able to achieve that, then you can now start talking of what strategies can I put in place to ensure that if a Peter Obi that a lot of Nigerians want runs alone, he will stand a chance of winning. Why do we use NURTW buses to transport, to act as logistic companies? What happened to just INEC drawing up a logistic agreement with independent logistic providers and transport providers and giving them very strong KPIs, key performance indicators, and sign strong service level agreements that determine when and how logistic materials will arrive at polling units, and failing which the consequences are also clearly defined, financial and monetary consequences. Where is all of that? So these things can be done. So are we ready? So we need to stop this idea of just resigning to fate and saying, let's just go to the ADC. That's the only way. There's no way to beat APC. It's not true. And in any case, if the ADC beats the APC, it is the APC that beat the APC. Please, we need to let that sink in. If the ADC wins and beats the APC, it is simply the APC and the PDP that beat APC. It's the same people, no difference.
Salawa Kundaro, thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
patience. You know, me and you, we're always here together. So, so let me come to you. We want to educate ourselves properly because it's this time. It cannot be like it happened in 2023. If you are saying you want your candidate, you have to fight for it. In other words, whatever gimmick that needs to be applied, whatever level of persuasion, you need to be able to implement it because nobody now is ready to give you the tickets like it happened in 2023. And if you want that, then it cannot be within the ADC because Atiku is the one that has been doing all the calling together, everybody coming together from their different whatever. They've been the ones doing the work. I'm not saying Peter Obi was not part of the process, but you can see the persons in that coalition. There's strongly persons who are coming for, because of Atiku. Now, the APC as a party and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The essence of the establishment of the APC in 2015 was to rescue Nigerians from the complaint and the doldrum of inefficiency at the government level. It's unfortunate that the person they thought would deliver that was Muhammadu Buhari, who obviously Nigerians had their issues with and were not comfortable with. Do you think there is still time for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to rewrite the past inefficiencies of 8 years in the remaining 2 years?
Why not?
Okay.
Anything is possible. Is very possible because everybody, many people know. Or we know to some extent why the government is having a lot of shortcomings. We know it's not magic. It's human error. It's human decision. It's human policy. Yeah, you simply retrace your policy. We know the solution. Retrace it. It's very simple.
Is it the policy that is wrong, or is it the persons in charge of implementing those policies?
No, it's the policy. It's the policy that is wrong. Because if you have a policy and the person you have in charge is not doing according to that policy, of course you get rid of that person. Is it not simple? You get rid of that person and you find another competent to do it. But if the person is not doing, the people are complaining about the person and you don't remove the person, definitely that is what you want. That is your policy. The person is doing well with your policy and that is what you want. That is why you still leave the person. That's why you are still working with the person.
So my question now is, Mr. Lawal Kundayo, does President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is there something he can do to change or shift the narrative, alter the despotic feeling that Nigerians are having now in these 2 years?
See, is a prerogative of the president.
Okay.
It's his decision. It's his decision. So, and everybody's looking up to that decision. If he changes it, we'll see it trickles down to the people. If you don't change it, what you are doing still trickle down to the people. See, you can't perform. Let me make it clear in my own understanding. See, a democratic government cannot perform when you don't have the proper democratic structure running. You are bound to become a dictator and you are bound to fail. Go and look behind. People who started the World War, go and see they were democratically elected. Hitler was democratically elected. So don't think these people just came into power by force. No, they were democratically elected. But along the line, they took away the proper democracy. The other arms of government, they took them away. That is why they became what they were. So if the assembly is not checking you, the judiciary are biased in their law, then you are bound to fail because you have nobody to check you. It's like a father who drinks, who doesn't take care of your children. You get, and then nobody. People are praising you. Nobody is talking. So no, nobody is talking to you. Of course, you continue doing it.
All right.
That's what is going on.
Like I asked you a question. I need you to respond to my question directly. Do you think President Bola Ahmed, I want to believe that he has been listening to what people are saying, because you could hear how Nigerians felt when they heard the death of Muhammadu Buhari. And some people were even wishing same on the president. And God forbid it won't happen to him in Jesus' name. So, but the thing is, what are you saying, Taloni?
I was just asking my colleague
what are you saying?
His response first. I didn't say anything now.
What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this, Mr. Lawal. if peradventure in this 2 years he has, can he shift the dynamic? I've asked you this question. This is the third time. Because there are certain things that Nigerians need. In fact, not too much. Can he push that deliver? Can he deliver?
Why not? This is, as I told you.
What is causing it? What is the problem?
I've told you now. This is human error. You get this is no. Let me don't. I don't want to use error. I want to human decision.
If he is able to do it in 2 years, would Nigerians believe it? Would they think that he's just being political, just so that they can align and get the support of Nigerians? Because if he had wanted to do it, he would have started it off from 2023 when he took off.
Esther, let him do it and wait for Nigerians to make their decisions. If the government is doing very well, I will be one of the people that will openly support. Because I don't care who rules Nigeria. I don't care who is the governor. I care about performance. Because naturally, a political office holder is a servant. It's only in Nigeria that political office holders are demigods. In the other country, who cares? People they run away from political office. Look at Elon Musk, when he tried to align with Trump, see the error, they were already having issue. Because when you go there, you are going to cause a lot of problem if you are not, if you don't serve the people. Elon Musk is a businessman. He's a rich man, the richest man in the world, or maybe in the world. And you want to go into politics, you are going to begin to have issues. That is what. But in Nigeria, that's where you see the richest man, the businessmen, all of them rushing to politics, because there they see politics as a form of business. I want to make more money. I'm investing. So and so amount at so time. I'm going to reap so and so benefit. I'm going to say so and so thing. So you now are made so much. You make yourself a godfather. You begin to put people in offices and things like that. Because Nigerians have seen themselves to be some kind of slaves. They see themselves to be some kind of slaves. And we need to get out of that mentality. We need to get out of that mentality. And that is the problem. So let me come back to that question again. I'm saying it clearly, categorically, that differences can occur in this country within few months. How many months do we have left? You can make a substantial difference by the end of this year when you allow proper democracy. Remove your hands from let judiciary do their normal work. Let the house do their normal work. And they will speak to you. And then you see the direction you need to go. Because that is why they are there.
Mr. Segun Shukriton, in as much as a lot of Nigerians may want Peter Obi, but the North, they say, will always back their own. So what should be now? What should be the right directive? Because if Peter Obi, like you suggested, decides to go with another political party, because there are talks that he may be left partyless, right? And the votes are splitted once again. Is that not a clean sweep for Tinubu in 2027? That's one. Two. What exactly is wrong with Atiku emerging as a president? I mean, in what way do Nigerians think he will not perform? Let me give you an example. In 2023, Atiku had said that he was going to sell the refineries in NNPC. Nigerians were like, so you want to sell our future? You want to sell it to your cronies? But you heard Ojilari tell us now that it is not out of the table for them to sell off the refineries. Dangote also said the same thing. That when he wanted to purchase a refinery way back, he was advised by the same Obasanjo that he shouldn't purchase it. Obasanjo had advised Yar'Adua to sell off the refineries because they were obsolete and moribund. They're no longer working.
Obasanjo sold it. And then Yar'Adua reversed it.
Exactly. So he has suggested that. That means he already knew what was operating in that sector. He worked together with Obasanjo, and means that that same initiative Obasanjo had was some of the initiatives he also wanted to implement. So I want to know something. Do you think that with whatever agreement is hard, Atiku lacks empathy? He wouldn't deliver properly in as much as he's also a politician. What if you had what you had during the time of 1983, where Buhari was the head, Idiagbon was the vice, and Idiagbon was the one doing the work? What if it's the same thing that is going to be the arrangement now?
It could work, I mean, we should never say never, like I said earlier. You never can tell. We're not God. The issues that some people have with Atiku are issues relating to antecedents, how did he get his wealth, and all of that. But look, let's be honest. The man is a businessman, has a business empire that you could say is successful to a certain degree. Probably more a businessman than even the current president. in terms of, because, I mean, what businesses does President Bola Ahmed Tinubu own? Everything that is attributed to him, his people deny it. They say he's not the owner. Which business does he own? But we know the businesses that Atiku owns, starting from Intel. If you go to Adamawa State, half of the factories and industries there belong to him, right? So as a private person, the argument of his supporters is that he knows how to make, it's like bringing a Trump in, a Trump, a billionaire who has succeeded in private enterprise. That's the allure or the arguments that Atiku supporters are pushing forward. And for me, looking at what is playing out right now, I really don't think it matters. I think that if Atiku were to become president, he will do the little he can. He probably will mean well, but he will fail.
He will fail. Why?
Yeah, of course. I mean, in fact, let me shock you, right? Let me shock you. If Peter Obi goes into that coalition and he somehow clinches the ticket and he becomes president on ADC, he will fail.
Why?
Because the things that we need to do, when I say fail, what do I mean? What is success? What is the definition of success of a Nigerian president today?
The people who are around you, or the people who show you support, the people in our caucus?
Outcomes.
Okay.
The definition of a successful president in Nigeria today is the president that will give us a Nigeria within a 5 to 8 year period where Esther can pursue her dreams and achieve it in minimum time, where the bricklayer looks at himself and say, I don't want to be a bricklayer anymore. And within 8 years, I'm not tying that to politics. I'm just saying, let me use another example. Within 10 years, he becomes a business owner, the head of an engineering firm that is building roads. And in America, that can happen. The reason that can happen in America is that they've got the structure of governance right. So no matter which president comes into the United States of America today, he is going to record relative success by virtue of the institutions that they built. The president that will succeed in Nigeria will not succeed on this contraption we currently run. It will never happen. The politicians that are thronging in the ADC, the APC, the PDP, they will never change this structure because it is working for them. It's not working for you and I. So a president that will succeed, the first thing that he will have to do within the first 2 years, if President Bola Tinubu really meant well, because he knows this thing I'm saying, all of his political career until he became president, he spoke about restructuring.
A lot.
He spoke about true federalism.
That's why a lot of them are disappointed, actually.
So he knows these things. He fought these battles as governor of Lagos. He fought Obasanjo and prevailed on fighting for the independence of Lagos, and that was the origin of the IGR success story. Why isn't he doing it now? In the first 2 years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if he really means well for Nigeria, and he says he's bold, he's courageous. He was bold and courageous enough to say subsidy is gone on day one. That boldness, that courage, whatever you want to call it, he should have deployed that into sending bills to the National Assembly that is beholden to him. The National Assembly is an extension of Bola Tinubu.
Yes, obviously.
So if he sends a bill to the National Assembly to say we are sending a bill, constitutional amendment bill, devolution of powers, right? And then turns around the structure of Nigeria upside down. Nigeria is standing with its head on the ground. That's what Nigeria is today. Turn it around. Send legislation to make Nigeria stand on its feet. 2 feet, with all the things that need to be in place. Mr. Ekundayo, my brother here spoke about it the last time I was here, talking about the structural changes that need to happen. If those structural changes don't happen, Nigeria is not going anywhere. And these politicians won't do it. So if Peter Obi wins this election, surrounded by these guys, he will never be able to send those bills to the National Assembly because they will frustrate it at some point. So for me, if Atiku wins, he will do his best. I really think he means well. He wants to become president. He wants to, like Buhari, he wants to be able to say, I was a president. Like Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu has wanted to be president since 2003. 2003, 22 years ago. And he has now achieved it. What has he done with it? So Atiku too wants to be president. He will do some good. Look, as bad as Buhari was, he did some good. People don't like to hear it, but he did. The PIB, you see, the production
industry bill,
the production increase that we're seeing in the petroleum industry today, that Tinubu's people are taking credit for. The credit belongs to Buhari, because the PIB that had been pursued since the days of Jonathan. It was under Buhari it was signed into law. So now on the back of that, investment flows have started coming into the oil industry that is unlocking production wells and increasing our production. If we continue like this, we'll hit 2 million barrels per day. It might not happen in the timeline that the politicians around the president are saying, but it will happen because of that law. That is because of Buhari. So all those structural changes, right, we need to make them. President Tinubu has shown that he's not going to make them. The next person that is coming will not do it.
What if this restructuring you're talking about is what he intends to do?
In fact,
in 2027. The reason why I'm asking you this is they're saying that the economic reform is a way of going back to regionalism. Everyone being able to...
This economic reforms is doing right now.
Economic policy reforms is a way of ensuring that kind of thing where there is a checkmate. So if your region is not able to produce, you may not even be able to enjoy yourself. That is a sub level of restructuring. That's a talk. That's a talk. That's a talk. No.
Maybe she's having a meeting with the president. She's just coming to tell us the meeting they had last.
Wait now. Don't sell that narrative. No, they feel that that's what the policy reform is all about. It's a way of silently introducing.
Okay, silently. That's why I said you must have had meeting with him.
Introducing that restructuring thingy. That's the concept. That is if it is followed through.
That's the way to do restructuring.
If they don't do the mago that they usually do.
Is that the way to do restructuring? Are we stupid enough not to know what is restructuring? This is not restructuring.
There are parts of the tax law that you can argue reflects some type of the thing we're looking for, which is the derivation principle in the VAT sharing formula, where you say, okay, derivation will now account for 40% of VAT. Exactly. So what that does is that it encourages the different states to produce more and contribute more to the pool. So you can say that, but that is too little. It's like dropping a pin in the Atlantic Ocean with regards to the things that we need to do. The bold reforms that need to happen is not the removal of subsidies, sir, Mr. President. The removal of subsidy is the easiest thing you could have done because there will be no resistance from anywhere. The things that we need to do where there will be resistance from powerful people is the thing that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has refused to do. Because anyway, those powerful people are also his friends. So will President Atiku, if Atiku wins, will he have the courage to do those things? I doubt it. In fact, if he has the courage, will his allies around him allow him? Because if those things happen, the amount of money available to be stolen at the center will reduce.
In fact, at the state.
Even at the state. So the attraction of public office, if we make the right structural reforms, will go away. And people like my brother and I that were just struggling will be able to aspire for office.
And we know that we're not benefiting anything. We truly want to serve.
We want to go and serve. We will go there with the desire to serve and we will do our bit and we'll go. That's how societies that work. That's how they're doing it.
But let me ask you something because we need to open the phone lines.
Sure.
What, aside from presidency, what happened in the previous election was Peter Obi everywhere. So House of Reps, Senate, it was Peter. That was what they were seeing. Yeah. What if you have a Senate, especially if a couple of them are not registering and do what they're supposed to do, especially for House of Reps, Senate? If you don't have more of the National Assembly members on your side, they could want to impeach you if you don't do their bidding. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I understand. Maybe let me tell you something. That's why they call it politics. Every one of them have a way of going round. You get it? Do you know? Do you remember when Trump was impeached? Do you know how many times Trump was impeached in his first term? So why didn't he leave the office? You get what they are doing is that they are just putting a check on him. They are just checking him.
They could put a check on him out of vengeance. Out of
no, it's not about vengeance. What?
No, I'm talking about how politics in this part of the world runs. That's what I'm saying. If at all, it happens that he wins in 2027. What about the Senate and the House of Reps?
Do you know? See, everything will change.
How?
Let me tell you.
By active participation.
Excuse me. See, that's why you call it general election. When general election comes, everything changes. You get? Everything changes. Up to the National Assembly, there will be election.
A lot of the Labour Party members that emerged as House of Reps and whatever. Nigerians did not know them. The people they didn't know who they were.
That is why it's better now.
Exactly. So I think the point Esther is making that must be made, and that we need to make clearly to everybody listening, is that the presidency is not the only office up for offer in 2027.
That's it.
Very
That's what
crucial.
I'm saying. So everything will revolve.
But it's not just about it revolving. It's that we must pay attention to the people that are going to aspire to run as senators, as House of Reps members. In fact, if you ask me, sir, if you are an Obidients listening to this, if it's ADC, you decide that you want to, you align with, for me, it's a bad idea. But if you believe it, do it. If it is the one that they are going to pick later, join, pick up your card, participate actively, and look for a way. Even if it is State House of Assembly, run,
contest, fill yourself into different places.
We need to run for office, because I think the point Esther has made is no matter who becomes president, if he's not surrounded by like minds in the legislature, again, like I said earlier, he will fail you. Yeah. He will fail.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get your reaction now. The number to call is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Esther.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
My name is Sheyi from Itire.
From Itire. Sheyi, welcome. Is this your first time?
Yes, it's first time.
Wow, give me that bell.
I'm trying.
Sheyi, welcome.
Yes, I'm your fan. I've been trying before, but it's only today that I later get you right.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes. Please, I want to talk about Obi and Atiku running mate or this thing.
Okay.
For me, I'm already sure about Atiku.
Okay.
I'm Yoruba, but if you look what Atiku be doing from 1999, it's only since when Nigeria become this thing, it's only Atiku is a vice and the top president. Go and check vice from 1999 till now. They used to work on that. Even you will not hear their mouth talk anything. It's only Atiku that drag with Obasanjo. And we see the result. Even I remember about 2001 or 2002 when phone want to come into Nigeria. That time we are using Nitel. Obasanjo ran to outside country that he go to live. When they are talking of phone to sell Nitel to make private to come inside Nigeria, Obasanjo said that is not among. But when me and you, what they tell us that time that if they say Nitel, me and you can be able to stay inside and make our call. That when the result come in, that's why Obasanjo now come and show that is the one is the president. So you understand? That is number one. There's number one reason that for me, I would rather support Atiku and Obi to make Obi become vice. Because I know that it's not possible for Atiku to become vice for Obi. It's not possible.
No,
that is number
it's not in the constitution. He was a vice for 2 terms, so he can't run on that position again.
Yes. Number two reason is that since before 1999, Nigeria owed debt of almost 30-something billion. But along between Atiku and Obasanjo, they reduce our debt to 1 billion. You know that it's not easy. Go and check since that time till now, our debt is increasing. You know, even lower is increasing. Whether they beg before they reduce it or they do this, at least our debt reduce. Then another way out is that you remember when 2003, when Obasanjo want to run another one.
3rd term.
He get clash between 2 of them. And when he reached 20, Obasanjo begged him for just that 10, another 10 to 2007. When Obasanjo want to run again, that 2007, Obasanjo have already buy more to budget for all our top people. It's Atiku that come out with him people and challenge that thing and stop Obasanjo to go run 3rd time.
Yeah, he disrupted the process. He gave them more money.
That's what Obasanjo wanted.
Yes.
He
He gave them more money.
Obasanjo wanted to remove him.
He
For
gave
me-
them more money. Oh. All right. Shay, thank
for
you.
me,
You've taken a lot of
for
time.
me,
Thank
I
you.
have
Let him
to
let's
tell
give
you
him
that
time.
for me, if you remember Kwara, when Saraki's father, they have already believed that it's their family that will be running. Through his own son, then bring Saraki up, and Saraki remove their cause from Kwara. Till today, the family no reach there. Inside the Kotoboto that we are running, like now, we vote for APC 2015, and we no see results from there. We need to check another place. And know how you want to tell me now that if you not become big politician to spend money, you cannot reach there. Let's forget about Obi. Obi cannot win election for now.
Yeah.
And can you drop Obi and Tinubu together without Tinubu self become president? So that 2023, if two of them run together, Tinubu will win him hands down.
All right.
Only thing that make the election reduce that 2023 is that because this one that died, they are our former president.
Buhari.
Buhari just ruled 8 years. So when he ruled 8 years, they use it to attack Atiku about we can't continue with Hausa. Hausa have already ruled 8 years. That's why the vote divide. So if Obi try to go to another party now, 2027 have already cleared to Tinubu.
Okay.
Because no one know how the vote will divide again, and you give this opportunity to Tinubu. Only thing that they can do, whether.
Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, this guy is not landing. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello,
Yeah,
Tony.
good evening.
Sorry, Tony. I kept you.
No, it's all right. I thought me and you are quarreling that you don't pick my
I
calls.
picked it now. It's because there was another call on. Maybe Nubiko.
No, I mean for how many months now?
No, I didn't say no. Maybe it's network or something. Please go ahead, Tony. Tony, why are you calling us?
Okay. Yeah, there are one or two, three things that I will say. There is this virus that the doctors in Nigeria are not seeing, and this virus is spreading like wildfire, and that virus has affected some people, and this virus is pitoburism is the name of this virus. So it has affected Rena Mokri
Okay.
and some others. So they need a vaccine for it.
Okay.
So that's
Maybe
one.
pitobimycin vaccine.
Yeah, pitoburism is the name of this virus. so it has affected some people. Now, another one is this. I greet your guests, Okundayo and
Shagun Shokan.
and Chef. So there can any of them, because I have been trying to talk to Barrister Darlington, but I'm not, can they tell me why Kamala Harris lost the election?
Okay.
It's only one question that made the former vice president to Biden lose the election, because they asked her one question: what is the difference between you and Joe Biden? And he couldn't say it because people that are saying that, oh, let P2B go for a vice, then after that, P2B will then run again. I am sure that if Kashim Shettima comes out in the next 3 years to run for president, nobody will vote for him. He won't get any vote because of the bad experience of him being with Tinubu and whatever Nigerian. So sometimes they should understand the whole thing. The person that you are following or you are seconding to can also have an influence in you as a person who might be a good person.
But the question is,
You
how
can
do
see somebody, that person might be
Atiku
good,
will be
but
bad?
he is keeping a company of bad people.
But how do you know he'll be bad, Tony Chukwudi?
Character of the other person can influence the other good person. So, in as much as Atiku or people are saying, oh, P2B, you can be a vice, they should have this thing in mind. And again, it has to do with when they are talking.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, you were saying something.
So it has to do with when they are talking about money. some of us in the diaspora who are ready to contribute, and many Obidients, when they contribute money, I don't think that anybody, the only thing that Nigerian government will say, they don't want the money from outside the country. Apart from that, money will come in.
Why would they
So
want the money
that's
outside the country?
and then the third one is this. Why is it that some of them are afraid of Peter Obi? Because Peter Obi is coming. It's not. I love what he said, that he only do one term, because that one term he is going to change so many things. Just like Kundayo said, and your guest, that then they can be able to go in and serve and go out. Just like the way they do it in every. Peter Obi is coming to change some of the structures, including the electoral process and this so-called INEC.
Major problem.
So that a common person can serve and then go in. And before you serve, Nigerians will know what you are doing. Not just you just come in and become rich overnight.
Okay. All right, Tony. Thank you.
So, and again, tell those that are infected already with the with Obirism, the virus, to get the medication as quick as.
Thank you, Tony. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello? 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 All right, 08036929933. That is the number to call. And the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
My name is Baku. I'm well known as Mr. Vision.
Baku, you're known as Mr.
Yes. Vision.
Mr. Vision. Welcome. Yes, you're familiar. Welcome. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, first of all, I want to use this opportunity to say rest in peace to our former president, Muhammadu Buhari.
Okay.
May Allah grant him Idil Fitr. And I also want to make this point very clear. Esther, please, I want to first of all say be careful with the characters you bring to the studio, because some of them, to me, they are just like APC are defecting from one party to go and cause confusion in another party. They will also come to your studio too, to mislead Nigerians with their analysis.
What do you mean by that, please?
Now, there was. I want to start from the barrister you brought on
He's
your
not a
news
barrister.
hour.
I never mentioned any barrister today.
Okay, the man on your news hour. I thought he was a barrister or something.
Okay, during the news. That was not during the news.
During
That
the
was
news.
this is not the news. This is Evening Rush.
Yes, but okay, no problem. Let me forget about him. But I wanted to mention that policies. He said Tinubu's policies, that he's not a bad person. It's his policies that are bad. In any way you want to define someone's policies, they reflect his true character. But let's leave that aside and move on. First of all, I'm speaking as a Nigerian, though I'm from the north. But Esther, you see...
Where from the north are you from? Where?
Okay, I'm from Kaduna.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, Esther, you see, this government, they don't really care about us. I want to say about us, I mean Nigeria entirely. Why I say so is because if you are in a vehicle traveling and the vehicle breaks down along the road, will you not look for the next alternative? And if the next alternative does not have AC, will you say you're waiting for the vehicle because the one you were in had AC or it does not? Or will you say you are not looking for the one with AC before you get to where you... If you see any alternative, even if it is Okada that will take you to your next destination, won't you follow the Okada? Now, this is the situation Nigerians are. This APC government is like a vehicle that has broke down along the road. And Nigerians are now looking for the next alternative to get to their destination. If someone is telling us not to keep trying, we should wait for Jesus Christ or Muhammad to come. I don't know what they are thinking. But the truth here is that ADC, here we come. Obi is our man, and we stand with Obi.
Okay.
Atiku has no bad record as long as as far as I can see.
Okay.
He has no bad record. Atiku, during the time of Obasanjo, he did not commit. And why have they not looked for him with EFCC if he has any antecedent that requires that or that demands that? So everybody coming to tell us that we want to recycle bad politicians. Who is this faithful politician? Has he come from heaven?
All right.
We just need to get somewhere. That is what we want.
All right. Thank you, the man with vision.
Let's just get somewhere.
All right. Thank you. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Hello. Good evening.
Yes,
Esther.
good evening, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, this is Paul from Egbeda.
All right, Paul. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Ikundayo and the other of your guests.
Mr.
Good
Shaku
evening, all.
Shepito.
Yeah, I think I should express happiness today when I heard that the vice president have finally resigned from PDP.
Former
In
vice
fact,
president.
I'm one of the people that jubilated and I'm happy because those who claim or who wants to destroy PDP, they should go ahead now and have PDP in full and do whatever they want to do with PDP. I think the man they accuse that made PDP lose election 2023, he has left PDP now. Let them choose that Southerner that will win election from PDP and let us see. That's number one. Number two, I don't think that Obi is a dunce. Before Obi joined the coalition, Obi must have sat down. He has his personal advisors too. That guy is an intelligent guy. You know, for him to rise to the level he rose financially as a businessman, chairman of many banks, both abroad, serve also in the presidency as an advice financial, I think in the area of advisory role. It's not a dunce. He has his brain working. So he knows what he's doing. And I believe that if ADC will not be stable for him, he will do the needful at the right time.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Ben. How are you?
That's for me. Yes, thank you. I'm so fine. I'm fine.
Go ahead.
As I see what you are talking about to change Nigeria, whether bad people. There's nothing like bad people, though. There's nothing like bad people. If you see people that are causing trouble in this country now, people that are evil, bad blood in this government, there are not more than 4 that are causing trouble. Can Mr. President count about 3 more of them, like Abadio, like Wike, and Devil Mine? About 4 people. You see, it takes only one person, one good leader, a leader that has capacity. If a leader has capacity and make a appointment, even if you appoint a demon, but if I say you have the capacity, that demon must comply. If you have capacity, all your appointees, your capacity will be their strength. And the strength of all your appointees, your executive, it will be the success of the country. You will see revival in the army, in the police, in the CPN, in EFCC, everywhere. See, everybody will wake up. A leader that will fix institutions. It is not you that will carry can and be pursuing anybody. You will fix institutions. EFCC will be working. DSS will be working. Court will be working. If you do nonsense, court will handle your IG of police. You see, everybody will wake up. America that is working, they have more bad people than us. Right. UK that is working, they have more bad people than us. Yes, I see. I want to talk about the election. This election, you see local government. If when you're talking about the Electoral Act, INEC is using local government. And local government, they are all appendages of a governor. When governor win election, he will carry all the will push them into local government. They are the ones that are handling sensitive materials. They are the ones that are the polling unit. If INEC continue to use them, I'm telling you the truth, it will just be walk over for APC. That is why they are the camping. That is why Wike is in charge of local government in River State. That is why this sole administrator want to appoint sole administrators in local government. They want to take charge so that during the election they will read at the polling unit, council and the local government chairman. They will be calling them on phone. They will be changing. They will not upload the real results.
Wow.
So that is the electoral act. And the main thing now is to detach China, let China be independent. Right. As they say about statistics, let them remove this from NURT. Higher companies could have register with CAC. Okay. Let them carry the sensitive materials. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ben. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, good evening, Esther.
Good evening.
Yeah, sorry. I have only 2 questions to ask. Number one is that Atiku said during the time of 2023 election, say it was Wike that caused him to contest when they said they should throw the ticket to Southeast. That's why they throw it open. We can say they should throw it open. Now that he's still under his power to support the same Obi or to support the same Southeast, why is this so difficult for him? Why is Atiku not listening? That's number one. Okay. Secondly, this the barrister, that man that is in the ADC, I'm asking, what is this? Why is it that it's taking time, or does it take to get another party registered? Why is it that INEC is not accepting to register a new party? Why?
All right.
Because I want to register Obidient Party for Obi. Okay. So that let me fund the whole registration.
I think
what does it take to register a party? I want to know, please.
All right, thank you.
As we speak now, my brother, there are 3 Obedient parties amongst the 100. the same name, same logo, right? So, but the process is going on. INEC has announced, they've come out to say that they are going to register people. You know, the chairman of INEC has said that he has given assurances to some of the key stakeholders in the political parties. You know, the requirements are very simple. You need to have a presence in Abuja and the 6 geopolitical zones. You need to have a certain number of members. You know, the criteria are not that hard to meet, and so many people have already filed. You know, and some of those parties will succeed. They will get the registration, and then we'll see what happens.
All right, Mark Modest, I hope you got your response. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Esther.
How are you,
and
sir?
Your guest, Mr. Kundaya and Mr. Shabuto.
Thank you.
My name is Mayor. I'm calling from Pestac.
Mayor, welcome.
How is it going now?
We do, Mayor. See us here now.
Yeah, I want to talk about this Obi Atiku issue.
Okay.
Like the last person rightly said, Atiku gave reason why he contested, because definitely all of us knew that it was the turn of the South. Yes, that because we insisted on throwing it open. Now, what I'm saying is that the only option we have now is for Atiku to that kind of role he played in 2006, where Obasanjo wanted to go for third term, he had to fight it.
Yeah.
Let him do that route. Let him take that route now, because this is about Nigeria. It should be patriotic enough to support P2B, because he knows that P2B has organic followers. P2B, definitely, all of us knew that P2B won that election. Tinubu himself knew. He said, if you ask him, he will tell you that he didn't win that election. He said that we didn't vote for him. He knew. So P2B, without a councillor, without a chairman, without an honorable member of House of Assembly, was able to make that mark, which, if you ask me, I'm a student of history. Definitely, Azikiwe, Awolowo, Tafawa Balewa, and Sardauna combined, they didn't achieve in their entire political life what P2B achieved in less than 9 months. Winning all over the country. Those people didn't make it. This didn't do that. This was only popular in the East. So, what I'm saying is that why not Atiku toe this line and save this country? Because we can't afford another 4 years of Tinubu. That is all the truth.
All right,
and from what Ekundaya was saying, Tinubu can do, you cannot give what you don't have. If you give Tinubu 10 years, he cannot perform. It's only just to answer president and enjoy life at old age, tour the whole world.
Yeah.
So if you are talking about, he cannot. So the best thing is just for every Nigerian to come together and push these people away.
All right, thank you. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Okay, good evening, Esther.
Welcome, sir.
Good evening, the gentleman in the studio.
Good evening, sir.
What's your name,
my
sir?
name is Daniel, and I'm calling from Idimo.
All right, Mr. Daniel, please go ahead.
Yeah, in fact, God bless your analysts. They have said it all. You know, yesterday, Esther, remember I called on this very show, and I told you that as long as this ADC is concerned, I am not sure that Obi is going to be in that party, because Atiku has taken over already, going by the way we do things in Nigeria when it comes to primaries. I told you yesterday that our primaries in Nigeria here is the highest bidder. This is only what has been happening. So in fact, apart from the last election, it has been the order of the day. The more money you give, then if you can pay above every other person, then you are going to be chosen. Like the man has said it all. He said, these people don't care about us. What they care is that money that they're going to give them. And they know very well that Obi's ideology does not align with that. No matter how much Obi has, I'm telling you, he cannot give that money. Obi can never. In fact, he can go and sit. He can go back to his house and sit down instead of him to give her that money to become the president of Nigeria. He will not do that. He would rather go back home and sit down and leave your politics for you. And they know that that is the way. So Atiku has taken over that party. I think, just like what your analyst has said, Obi should maybe begin to plan for something else now before it will be too late. That would be the way out, because Atiku will not allow him as long as money is concerned.
Okay.
So that's it. I pray that.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. How are you? Oh, wow. Okay, so let me just take a few messages and then we can take more calls, okay? Please, pardon me, let me take some messages. Good evening, Esther. My name is Mr. Inyomana from Benin. If for any reason Peter Obi is not allowed to be our president come 2027, then we would need somebody like Jerry Rawlings of Ghana in Nigeria to wipe out all the old breeds of politician thieves. Killing all of them is the only thing that can save Nigeria. They are all corrupt. Please let one young military officer help us out on this. Thanks. What are you? Hey, it's not me and you. Good evening, VOP. ADC coalition is apt and should be supported. I'm strongly against people who want Peter Obi to run as VP. People should know that VP in Nigeria is a spare tire and cannot carry out any program on their own. Peter Obi is a new brand at the federal level and should be supported. Atiku has nothing to offer. Also, he got his 2023 votes from PDP, which has now fallen apart. Chima from Surulere. Good evening, Esther. The issue of rotation of presidency between the North and South is never in the Nigerian constitution, and no party has it in their constitution. How come that some people are making noise about it in Nigeria? The APC never adopted it in 2023 because people like Al-Rafai from the North contested with Tinubu in their primary election and Tinubu won. Personally, I don't care where the president comes from. All we need is good governance. Lawrence from Ikotu. Nigerians must take ownership of their roles in politics to drive meaningful change. I recommend active participation in political parties, engaging in internal party democracy, and having a voice in selecting representatives for elected positions. By following these steps and avoiding corruption and undue influences, we can break the cycle of disappointment and elect leaders who truly represent our interest. Dean, this is Barista Diante's best friend. Good evening, Esther, and our honorable guest today. I am Babiji from Ushudi, saying that if the ADC really means, say that they won't give Peter Obi an automatic presidential flag bearer candidate to run under the platform come 2027, but wants it to be done by primary election, then let them allow we, the poorest of the poor and hungry Nigerians, to do it for them. Let it be conducted online, media voting by Nigerians, please, and I bet you Peter Obi will be our man. Mr. Sheikh Mushopiton, do you think they can do that? Let Nigerians decide who amongst them should emerge.
There's no way they can do that. We don't run independent candidacy. There's a political party that you have to belong to, and even the Electoral Act stipulates the process of selecting candidates. It's either direct primaries, indirect primaries. There is another option of consensus, but there are some conditions that you have to fulfill to be able to deploy that option. So it is not Nigerians that will decide. It is the delegates that will decide. Let's quickly understand that and know what it means.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Esther. Here's Mazi Fine from Majawi State. Peter Obi should never agree to go into a 4-year agreement with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, because looking at Atiku's antecedents, who comes out every election season without minding the power rotation agreement between the North and the South, he comes out irrespective of whose turn it is, so I don't think he is capable of keeping such an agreement. I think I understand where some people's fears are coming from. All right. And I think Atiku should actually address that if he wants to curry the belief of some Nigerians. As you always say, Atiku can't be trusted. Okay, let Obi go alone. Maybe he will be able to defeat all this cabal. Ayo from Mushi. All right. Good evening, my dear presenter and honorable guests in the house. My name is Taiwo Olapode from Yaniesi in Ota. Thanks for the good work you people are doing. Sir, lovers of propaganda will never believe in what you people are saying. If there is no electoral reform, that means we're going to have another selection. We can all see what happens in the last local government election where a party cleared all the seats because all our institutions have been compromised. If ADC did not do their homework well, APC will have their way again and it will be too bad for Nigerians. Stop the suffering or continue. The choice is ours. I pray that Almighty God will save our nation from total collapse in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Please, okay, all right. Good evening, Esther, and the guests in the studio. Esther, my problem is not APC or Atiku. My problem is INEC. Once again, INEC is the biggest problem in Nigeria today. Free and fair election, Mr. Peter Obi will beat any of them, hands down, in any party he belongs. We are no longer interested in party, but individual, which is the people's president, Mr. Peter Obi. We will get there by the grace of God come 2027. Mayor from Ikontwingwe. Good evening, Sister Esther and the erudite analyst in the studio. It is glaringly clear that Mr. Peter Obi is the best of all. Any rotational thinking Nigerian should know that there is no way Atiku could deputize Obi. Then, if Atiku refuses to step down for Obi, I should advise Obi to deputize Atiku, but for one term. However, if Obi and the Obidients decide Obi should run alone, then let the race start now. Obi should get another party, not Labour, and start winning more Nigerians into the Obedient group. The earlier, the better. The new Nigerians want is Mr. Peter Obi's vision. Nigeria must not continue the way it is now. Good evening, VOP. Atiku Abubakar is set a strategic pace in opposing the ruling party by resigning from his former party because he understands their antics. He is positioning himself to fill the leadership vacuum left by Muhammadu Buhari in the north and capitalize on the 12 million votes Buhari garnered, because several others like El-Rufai, Kwankwaso, Shetima, and one other are also vying for the same space. However, Peter Obi seems uncertain about his next move. I hope he acts soon, as failing to make the right decision might lead to losing the support of his 6 million obedient followers. Mr. Ogumbi from Idimu. This Mr. Ogumbi. I note sarcasm in this your message. There's sarcasm. There's sarcasm in this message. Good evening to you, Esther. Good evening to the very intellectual guest in the studio. My point now. Most people backed out of the Obi movement because at a point most Easterners took it to be an Eastern party. People voted Tinubu not because they saw him as a preferred candidate, but because Labour Party was being portrayed as an Eastern party. The likes of Mr. Darlington. I always call Mr. Darlington. This man go there on his own. I would call him name. Good evening, Esther, the barrister. There's no barrister in the studio. Mr. Lawa Ekundaya, Mr. Shegun Shokweton. All right, Mr. Ekundaya and VOP family, anyone that can win against is welcome. I am not sure that any government can be as bad as this. He that is down fears no fall. There was a time Japan has to change prime ministers severally to get it right. Atiku is a party politician who always depends on structures to get vote through his money. He is not attached to the common man. He has always lost his polling booth to Buhari and doesn't get the landslide victory in Adamawa State. Tinubu has lost more ground from his supporters due to hardship. If ADC gives Obi ticket with support of some power blocks, he will cruise to victory. So the coming election will be interesting. Amechi from Mafuluko. Amechi, get something now. Buhari is no longer there. So that 12 million vote, actually, he may get it.
Atiku.
Now that Buhari is not there.
Maybe Mr. Ekunda, you can speak to that. I don't see that.
You don't see it, huh?
No, I don't see it because there are forces. The Buhari was a cult hero.
Yeah.
You don't transfer.
Are you sure?
You can't transfer cult heroship. It's personal. He was worshipped by the Talakawas of the north. It's like saying that somebody should come today. Precise example. Can anybody win the loyalty of the Obidients outside of Peter Obi?
Can Obidients, because some of them have left.
Can the Obidients, the people that call themselves Obidients, will they move en masse with that same voice, that same energy, and support one other person because Peter Obi is no longer there? Can Peter Obi tell them this is the man you should vote? Even Peter Obi cannot move the votes of the Obidients to somebody else. He can't. It's personal.
It's an aura.
It's the aura. So Atiku cannot inherit the Buhari aura. Buhari has carried this aura to Aljana.
As in ja. But I have an extension.
What's the extension? What's the extension?
You see that Buhari support. There's a disconnection. There's a disconnection. Naturally, that
disconnection, or there is a vacuum.
There's a disconnection because Buhari is gone now.
Okay.
So that disconnected to leave them. Is there? You know what I mean by it's gone? That there's a disconnection. No, what I'm saying that those people that support him, he has disconnected from them now because they can't follow him to the grave, can they? Okay, obviously. So there's a disconnection. That end will be looking for an attachment.
That is why I said there is a vacuum now. Buhari is gone.
I don't want to use the word vacuum. Now that attachment will now split into many. So each one will now begin to look for where they want to attach
themselves.
Yes.
So but it may not be completely
Atiku will take
exactly.
Yeah, it will take some chunk.
Okay.
Rufai will take
Yes.
some. Kwakwanso will take some.
So they will redistribute.
Oh, I see now. That disconnection has. Oh, I understand you. Thank you very much.
You are not a scientist. That's why you don't know science. I'm start teaching you.
Thank you, sir. You teach me private lessons.
Okay, no.
Good evening, Esther and the guests in the studio. I have been saying this from inception. Tinubu removed Jonathan, and I thought we would change Nigeria for good, but he became worse than Buhari. Without Peter Obi and the Obedients, there will not be Labour Party. Has the Labour Party pulled 500k votes in the presidential election in Nigeria before? Do you know Aburi, Akpakwa, and Co before Obi? Esther, let Peter Obi take his time and make his calculations. As it stands now, Atiku is going to take the mantle of leadership from Buhari, and the North will keep behind him in 2027. KC from Ejesha. All right. VOP station is jamming with another radio station. Alakbere K2. Hey, sorry. Join us. We're on YouTube. Mabinu. They're working on it. They're working on that connection. I am so sorry. All right. Thank you so much. And this person says, good evening, Chioma and VOP. Okay, it's not Chioma that is here. We're not talking down on Atiku. It's your caller. Some people who don't trust him, sort of. This person says, okay, please come ahead. Come and give us investments tips. Victor is in the house. Good evening, Victor.
All right, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Victor from Kudos Homes Limited, and I'm here to talk about the various locations where we have properties in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. You know, investing in property is the only investment that can stand the test of time. So let me quickly talk about all our locations. Like in Lagos, we have in Agbowa, Ikorodu, and the name of our estate in Agbowa, Ikorodu is called Kudos City. Kudos City is currently selling for 1.5 million naira per plot. So with 1.5 million naira, you get a plot of land in Kudos City, Agbowa, Ikorodu. And we also have in Omuketu-Ekpe, we have Kudos Heritage. Kudos Heritage is currently selling for 1.5 million naira per plot, which is a promo price. The actual price is 2.5 million, but if you have 1.5 million naira now, you can get a plot of land in Kudos Heritage, Omuketu-Ekpe. And we also have Kudos Heights. Kudos Heights is also located in Omuketu-Ekpe, and Kudos Heights is currently selling for 4.5 million naira per plot. Now the phone number to call is 0905 904 7514 0905 904 7514. Now in Delta State, we have the Fairview Estate Phase 2, which is located in Ibuzo main town. Fairview Estate Phase 2 located in Ibuzo main town, and Fairview Estate Phase 2 is selling for 2.5 million naira per plot. And we also have the Kudos Height. Kudos Height is also located in Ibuzo, and Kudos Height is also selling for 1.5 million naira per plot. And we have Kudos Court in Ibuzo as well, and Kudos Court is selling for 4.5 million naira per plot. And you may be asking, why do we have all of this estate in Ibuzo? Now Ibuzo is very close to Asaba International Airport, and it's also close to the first and second Niger Bridge. So if you are looking for a place that is very close to the international airport, you can get any of these our estates in Ibuzo. And the phone number again is 0905 904 7514 0905 904 7514. Now we go for inspection here in Lagos every Thursdays and Saturday. Like tomorrow, we'll be taking our clients for inspection. So if you love to see any of our estates here in Lagos, our estate in Ikorodu and our estate in Omuketu-Ekpe, you can join us tomorrow. The number again to call is 0905 904 7514. You can join us tomorrow. You can also join us on Saturday. We go every Thursdays and Saturday. And in Delta State, we go for inspection every day except on Sunday. We go Mondays to Saturday except on Sunday. Here in Lagos, our office address is at number 171 Egbeda Idimo Road, Abule Odu bus stop, Egbeda, Lagos. 171 Egbeda Idimo Road, Abule Odu bus stop, Egbeda, Lagos. So if you are still waiting to get a plot of land, or you've been saving to get a plot of land, now Kudos Heritage Umuketu Ekpe is currently on promo. So instead of 2.5, you get it with just 1.5 million naira. It's called our instant allocation promo. So with 1.5 million naira, you get a plot of land in Kudos Heritage Umuketu Ekpe, and the phone number to call again is 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. Our office address, like I said, is at number 171 Egbeda Idimo Road, Abule Odu bus stop, Egbeda, Lagos. You can get us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and our social media handle is at Kudos Homes Limited. To get more information, you can visit our website on www.kudoshomesLimited.com. www.kudoshomesLimited.com. So start getting your own plot of land now with us. Thank you so much.
All right, Victor, thank you so much. Kudos, thank you so much for giving us that insight. Okay, thank you so much. All right, we'll soon be wrapping up. I know that a lot of us have a lot to say. I'm so sorry we can't take everything, but I'm going to take some of your messages, SMSs actually, because a lot of you have been sending messages. Wow, somebody says, wow, I'm in love with this guy. Shokpito is not Shopoto. Joy from First Stack. Dear VOP, no, we're not off air. We're very much on air. So maybe you should tune. We're very much on air. Good evening, Esther. Either ADC or not, it's sacrosanct. Peter Obi must win the 2027 presidential election. Okay, all right. Wow, it's not magical. It's not... good evening, Esther and colleagues. Don't you think it has come as a culture for Nigerian governor successors to habitually perform very poorly than their predecessors? Peter Obi must win the 2027 presidential election via any political party. Obedience, it's divine. Royal Apostle from Ijegu. All right, Royal Apostle. Good evening. My name is Cletus. The issues that we're having in Nigeria today is INEC chairman. All right, this person says, okay, thank you. You love Shegun Shopiton. I will tell him. This person says, Esther, electoral reform, 2014 confab implementation. Tinubu should never appoint INEC and George Chief. He should ungag media, restructuring. All right, Koboko man. Atiku will join party after 2 years. He ran and came back and used money to delegate again. While in Atiku being PDP, he has gone to ADC again. Which party did Atiku form? Koboko man. Any policy or policies that is not favorable to the masses, can't Tinubu rescind? Is he not watching Traore? I wonder, they are punishing us. Koboko man. All right, Koboko man. Well done. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, my dear sister.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
The Truth.
Calling from the town of Injustice. All right, the
Yes,
Truth, you have
ma'am.
a few seconds. Please go ahead.
Straight to the point. When I was in the secondary school, there is a literature book that I read. The evil that men do lives after them,
Okay.
and the good is off in errand with their bones. So let it be with Julius Caesar. So concerning the man who has just gone, our president, he's going to reap whatever you do, either good or bad. So it pays for those who are in power now, who are ruling us, who are in power, to remember that one day, they will pass on. As I'm speaking, I'm expecting to pass on because I'm 78. Any moment I'm expecting, that's why I'm doing good. I'm saying the truth. So no condition and situation is permanent.
Right.
So they should prepare for eternity. Two things are real, hell and heaven. It's real.
Okay.
Concerning all the religions. Concerning the...
Thank you. The Truth. We don't really have time. Good evening, Esther and the guests in the studio. Esther, can you listen to Fani Kairi? What is the difference between FFK and the so-called rulers? They should be ashamed of themselves. Esther, we're in a hurry to grab democracy again after First and Second Republic. Esther, I can tell you for free, the current politicians that took over power since 1999 till date are men that have dubious characters and criminal-minded, in which one major is many of them made their money through 419 during Barangida's regime. Esther, it's only Peter Obi, the majority of us is following, no more, no less. Enough is enough. Mayor from Ikontwingbe. Good evening, Esther. Please, are they still doing voters card and where can I get it? Amobi from Ojo. Amobi, go to your local government. INEC has already told you, you guys go and get your PVC. So go to the local government nearest to you, register with them, do all that is required. All right, please do so now. To be honest with you, to avoid the rush hour, do so now. Esther, good evening. How was your day? Thank you. My day is okay. May God Almighty provide a better president for us. Amen. I am only kindly Hussein Bababiji anywhere from Oshodi. Good evening, Esther, and the guests in the house. If I may ask, Esther, how many old men have been calling this station? The callers are the youth and their obedient families. So how can the so-called old men that have destroyed the country think that Peter Obi will not win the election if there is no money hand in the soup, which is INEC? Williams from Ayabo. Good evening, Esther, and Ade from Lagos. With your rulers dying in foreign hospitals, the same hospitals that couldn't build or take care of their illness, the same your president is doing presently in France. Continuing in Buhari's legacy, Nigerians didn't get this bad until Buhari entered power in 2015. 8 wasted years of inflation, insecurity, economic disaster, very tribalized, prefer cows and human lives, corruption, NSAS, massacre, looting, and also imposing a taskmaster that has continued in his legacy and has done 10 times worse. It's like putting an Agbero in a vault of central bank. It will loot it aground. All sectors have been corrupted, compromised, and put in a dead state. Now it's all about imposing yourself in 2027 election like Pharaoh, even though you haven't done anything but to tax and loot and live your luxury lifestyle. That is why we are in this nightmare. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly there was a country. Dire from Fagba, I'm very sure. Good evening, Esther and the guests. With the Lagos State local government election held on Saturday last week, it's obvious that Nigerians now know the number of people that the APC government of Lagos are claiming to have in order to win Lagos. For Mr. Tinubu to look at the little number of people that came out for the election, that is a revelation of the government to know that the majority of Lagos are for Peter Obi. Thank you. Fred from Alakija. Well, you can't say. Good evening, Mr. Shagun's people. It's often said that our leader are the problem of Nigeria, but let's pause and think critically. Before he became president, he wasn't the problem, and when he eventually leaves office, will the next leader become the new problem? The cycle of blame has become all too familiar. Each leader is blamed, removed, and replaced, only for the next to become the next enemy. The truth, the real problem is deeper than any one individual. Nigeria's real problem is Nigeria itself. Until you fix the way we think, choose, and react, saith Obi cannot make any difference. Emmanuel, I have read your message. Okay, Mr. Lawai Kondaya, what's your final take?
My final take is that, like you asked earlier on, that can the president still fix the country? Do well. I said I wish him best of luck. I'm not losing. I wish him best of luck.
Okay.
And those who are forming coalition to unseat the president, I also wish them best of luck. So both of them have my best of luck. So let them trash it out. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 7 minutes, so 6 minutes gone past the hour of 9 o'clock. We will continue to educate ourselves right here. That's basically what we're trying to do. Clear out some narratives, have a better understanding of the issues. But it is obvious that Nigerians need good leadership. And that is the reason why people who never used to be interested in how politics works, what the strategy is all about, all the shenanigans involved, they are now getting involved. They want to know. It tells you that they realize that if they don't pay attention to the leadership, to the kind of persons that are elected at that level, that their future will definitely be tampered with. So this is a clarion call to our leaders. Please listen to your people. Do not turn deaf ears. Don't just listen to your cronies. They didn't put you there. Listen to your people. Just always listen to them. Make sure that governance gets to them. Our governors, I beg you in the name of God, you need to be active. You can't be a governor of a state and you're controlling from Abuja. And I'm specifically referring to the southeastern governors, Hope Uzodinma of Imo State. I'm calling you out. You literally don't govern from your home state, and the people in the state are complaining. Governance is not being felt. Only the president cannot do everything. We have the ministers, the councillors, the local government chairman. We have the House of Rep members and the senators who are meant to pass bills that reflects the interests of the people. Please wake up to your responsibilities. It's very important. You're pushing Nigerians to the very brink. Wake up. All right. Have yourself a good evening. See you tomorrow.